Hey guys, it's GamerGuy472 here, followed by my partner.
Fox1989, also known as Sephiroth999.
Yeah, doing a whole bunch of these. This should be the last one for tonight, and we're just gonna go straight into it. This is the light bowgun, because we're doing all the training stuff first, to make sure that you know what you're doing. Because if you don't know what you're doing, then you'll look like a noob. If you look like a noob, then you look like a jackass.
And if you look at the very least, you know what we're doing. So you're not just sitting there lost when you're trying to do things you don't know what the heck we're doing.
Exactly. You know, like fight a Fatalis. Be like, what's a Fatalis? I'm fighting Gaiadrone. We don't need those petty little things, and I'm completely stuck. There's only few things you can do with a bowgun. That's take it out and just reload and shoot.
Bowguns can be a little hard to get the controls down for someone who hasn't really played before, but used in the right hands they can be extremely dangerous to the monsters.
I was about
and
to
used
say.
in the wrong hands they can be extremely dangerous to the hunters. For example, the pellet shot ammo fires a small amount of pellets, similar to a shotgun. However, since they only auto-target themselves to whatever's in range, if an unwary hunter was to walk in front of a bowgun about to fire pellets, they will get shot, and it has some pretty good flinch. So they'll probably end up taking a hit when any monsters are not in the area.
Yeah, it's not based on cooperation. It's mainly for like if you're fighting a group of minion monsters, like Gaiaprey or something.
However, so due to the fact that pellet shots ignore ammo, ignore armor, they're very great for doing damage if you can get them off single player. Or if everybody's using pellets, you can all stand like right beside each other where you're not going to hit each other.
That would be like 20 feet away. Because the spread of pellet is ridiculous in Try. I don't know how bad it is in Freedom Unite. I haven't done any online. I actually haven't even been online yet with Unite. I should probably try that one day. Ad hoc party special. This is level 2 that I'm shooting right now. But normal level shots are basically just normal ammo.
No real special effects. The only difference to that is level 3, which has the ability to ricochet off of monsters and walls.
So that means you could shoot Raytheon in her cooch and it could hit Rathalos in the crotch. Which, if you're lucky, that could be a one shot. If you catch my drift. That's the basic gist of a bowgun. But there's many different types of ammo. You just need to find a bowgun that is good, has a good, strong attack, can shoot a lot
and has a nice ammo capability.
Yes.
Now, there's two different kinds of bowguns. They're relatively simple to remember for both of them. However, they do have differences. You have the light bowgun, which has the ability to rapid fire some shells, which means it'll fire 2 or 3 in rapid succession, up to sometimes 5 shells in rapid succession.
It also weighs less, so you can. It also weighs less, so you can move around faster, and also
but
be able.
But do have an overall lower attack due to this.
Yes, and but
the heavy bowguns slow you down to less than what a greatsword does, but more than what a light bowgun does. And you have to be careful because you cannot run, and your dodging is also limited. However, you have a much higher attack, you often have a much higher ammo selection, and can sometimes come equipped with shields, which automatically auto-block any attack that would be no more than
if you have stamina. I learned that the hard way.
And in Monster Hunter Portable Third, heavy bowguns come back with a new special ability called crouch firing, where you can you essentially crouch down and become immobile until you decide to stop crouching. However, you don't have to load your bowgun, you can just fire out all your ammo. And also, I think you also have a better range for scoping as well.
I think in I kind of imagine that like you're in a military and you're like right next to one of those Gatling guns that just have like a giant barrel or a giant box of ammo right next to the gun. It's just shooting one bullet right after another. It's like no. Now we're gonna get into the heavy bow gun.
So okay, so when you're using the bow, do you feel it's worth it to try to sit there and charge all the way up to level 3, or do you think it's better to often fire at level 2?
Depends on what level, what the difference is in the level.
Well, actually, this one happens to just be Pierce 1, 2, and 3. Or not Pierce, Rapid.
Rapid for all 3 of them?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Sonic Bow.
Well, then I'm guessing that the...
There's also the fact that your physical attack goes up.
Yeah.
From about 25% to about 75% to 100%.
So I'm guessing level 3 is good if you're able to charge all the way up in time to do that and then be able to get the rapid fire off. But I would mainly stick to level 2 if you had a clear shot of getting up a level 3. You know? Oh, here's something with the different selection types. Oh, also, if you're running and you hold R and then you press triangle and circle at the same time, you automatically reload as soon as you let your weapon out.
It also gives you a little bit of slide distance as while you're running. You still have momentum. So once you stop running, you'll actually slide a little bit of distance as well. So if you're running right towards a next area and you know there's a monster right there, whip out your bowgun just as you're about to pass through the exit to the next level, next area, and you'll immediately walk out the next area with your bowgun drawn and fully loaded.
Or you can do exactly that and look like a noob and the monster's not even there. Trust me, I know from experience.
Yeah, rehearse to be prepared.
You got that right. We need to find out more things to talk about. I feel boring now. Or I feel like a boring person now. Well, I guess we should talk about the different types of looking in like your scope or something. Like this only sets up how you like where you're gonna shoot. Okay, I failed. If you're a more experienced player, you normally don't do this. You just run around and you're able to do it automatically. If you hold it, it'll show up this little red cursor, but then you're able to shoot
it's relatively
up and
hard
down.
to aim that way, so you have to be relatively skilled at it. But it allows you to see what's happening around you as well as dodge easier. There's also a second type of scoping where it actually looks like you're looking through a full scope.
Which, if you press the button,
which is simply pushing the R button instead of holding it. It limits your vision and your dodging ability, but allows for much more accurate shots.
Because see how slow you walk with this heavy bowgun. It's ridiculous. Yeah, that's all about the bow guns. Pretty much the basics. Oh, Fox. Remember how I was using Ad Hoc Party to get on Monster Hunter Portable 3rd online?
Mm-hmm.
I saw this guy use a weird weapon. It looked like the Tetsaiga from Inuyasha. And when he drew the blade, it was bigger than the actual sheath itself, the little case or whatever. And it
That
looked.
was probably Tetsaiga.
That's what I said it was.
Yeah, but I'm saying it probably was that. That actually is in the Japanese game.
That's cool. How do you get it? I want it.
It's probably off an event quest, I think.
Well, if it's an event quest, then that means I have a good ability of getting it.
I know that in the English version of Try, they removed the Tetsaiga and put something else in its place. It was the Tenebra.
I know, man. It's so sad. You know, why do they have to keep the Tetsaiga from us? We like anime just as much as the next guy.
See, I'm not a big fan of Inuyasha, but the Tetsaiga is really kick-ass. I mean, really looks badass.
Especially when it's all red because of the spear gauge. Oh my gosh. Looks so awesome.
Yeah, Tetsaiga Path. Japan only. Attack of 462 with 300 ice, or attack of 561 with 560 ice.
No, here's the fun thing. You don't have to have shots in order to use a bow. This is a rapid fire level 1 shot that I'm working on right now.
Yeah, I got a Dale weapon.
There's different variations, so Fox, you gonna tell them about it?
Of what? Of the bow? Sorry, I was looking at the Tetsaiga for you. We're talking about the coatings, or are we talking about the types of arrows?
We're just gonna talk about the bow in general. Yes.
Well, the bow is a very versatile weapon, very strong as well. Most people call it the cheapest ranged weapon. It is very accurate. If you hold R while having your bow drawn, you'll get an aiming sight. If you're really quick, you can just line up your sight, take a shot, and get out of the way in time. There's many different kinds of arrows. For example, there's rapid arrows, where it launches 2 or 3 arrows at the same time. Each one, it has the same amount of damage as the full arrow that's been split down 3, or however many arrows you launch. Rapid arrows are great for breaking breakable objects such as wings. There's pierce arrows, which pierce monsters and hit monsters behind them, or if they're very long or large monster, hit the monster multiple times. They're the #1 most damaging arrow in the game, if you know how to use them just right. Or they can also be the weakest if you actually don't manage to pierce them. There's also scatter arrows, which can split between 3 and 5 and have very wide range. They're great for taking out minions or very large monsters where you're going to be attacking them from the side. For example, Gravios and Viserios. can be very large, so sometimes it's good to hit them from the side with a scatter arrow if you're able to get close enough. The main thing about bow is finding the right range. The tip is you want to hit them while your arrow is still arcing, before it starts to descend. Once the arrow starts to descend, it loses over half of its attack power. So you want to make sure you're close enough. Generally, the rule is you want to be about 3 back hops away from the monster. Anything else?
And that's just... Wait, did you add in the coatings?
No, I haven't.
No, that's just...
Coatings are much like a bowgun shell. Special things that are...
if you press triangle and circle, you can add in a coating to your bow. But you're limited.
You can select the coating from your list by holding R and then using triangle and X to cycle through the list of available coatings. There are 7 different coatings, I believe, in the Freedom Unite, and I think they added 2 more in Portable Third. There is the power coating, which increases your attack. The close range, also known as the razor coating, which allows you to have a higher sharpness when swinging an arrow as a melee weapon, which you can do by pushing circle. Also, if you're almost right up close to the monster, any normal shots will become more powerful. There is the sleep, paralysis, and poison coating. These ones here add the aforementioned status of their name into the shot. So you hit with enough poison arrows, you'll poison the monster. Hit with enough sleep arrows, you'll set them to sleep. And the last kind is the paint arrow, which works very much like paintball.
Didn't they add in didn't they add in the trank arrow? Tranquilizer?
Yeah, no, there's no trank arrow, but there is a fatigue arrow, which causes them to. This is in Portable Third, by the way. That allows you to tire the monster out faster. As once it is tired, it slows down, becomes sluggish, and becomes much easier to hit. And they also added one more coating. Maybe they only added the one.
I think I remember it though, but I just can't grasp it. Wow. We have about 4 minutes, 2 minutes or so. Anything you want to throw in there to wrap up this video?
As you've seen over the last few videos, there are many different kinds of weapons, and each one has its own separate tactics. Each one has multiple different tactics you can use. So use the training hall as a way to experiment with which weapon suits you better, and which tactics you think you'll enjoy best to make hunting not only easy but also pleasurable to do. You also would want to make note of the fact that ranged weapons, that would be the bow gun, light and heavy, have a different kind of armor as melee weapons. Because you're meant to be further away from the monster, it is lighter armor and therefore less defensive. So you have to be careful that, make sure that when you switch from melee to bow, or vice versa, that you make sure you go and get an appropriate armor, or else you'll find yourself very undefended.
Or you can get that one beginner armor that's both Blade Master and Gunner armor, but that's only for that one particular type of armor. It doesn't work with all armor sets.
Also, it's very weak once you have it powered up.
Mm-hmm. That's about it. Trading Hall is a really good place. Even though I never use it, I feel confident that I can be better with the gun lance and the hunting horn, maybe the lance. But I feel confident. Keep practicing. And stay tough. And happy hunting.